Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Alpha Traders. Coming to you live from the Crypto Caravan, hanging out in Carson City, Nevada right now. Heading to the crypto cabin sooner than later. Yeah, it's not looking like we're going to have as good of a winter as was previously thought to happen. It's not looking good. Not going to stick around. I'm holding out for some powder days. Might not get them. Just fine. It's a win-win for me. I either ski the powder or I go to my property. It's a win-win. So what do we got going on with Bitcoin? All right. Everybody's like, oh, Bitcoin's off the chain. All right, Bitcoin's running. Be careful. Don't get over leveraged. You know how Bitcoin does it, right? There we go. Yeah, you know how Bitcoin does it, man. Got to be real careful. Now I'm going to show you something here in a minute that might want to get reserved a little bit, right? Because this could pull back. Okay, so we're looking at my probability chart right now. Got our daily current candle, the plus distribution, and normal distribution ranges. I've also got a projection going from the 41K low and from the beginning of this up move right here, last 3 days, right? So we're looking at what was the low right there. We got that wick back right below the 68.3. Yeah, it got down to about 60.1, right in that area. $60,100 since then, right? What was the high today? 66,552. So yeah, about I don't know, $6,500 move. Not bad. 64.50. Good little Bitcoin. Good little Bitcoin. Let me scale this up a little bit here. You can see right now we are above the first standard deviation normal distribution. That is at $65,636. There is a 68.3% chance price action today closes inside that first standard deviation range. Doesn't have to, right? There's a percentage that it'll close above it as well. You can see up here at the top of this projection, this is the 95.4% Laplace distribution range on the 3-day projection here. And the 95.4 Laplace is right there as well. So this area in general, considering those 95.4 ranges, we're having a little bit of confluence. It doesn't surprise me that the price action did not get up to that area. That's going to be some stiff competition. Look right where it's at, right? The actual projection, the 3-day projection, is right at the all-time high. It's 67.1. So 95.4 Laplace on the current candle is 67,279. Looking good though. Is looking good. There is no bear div building between returns and price action, at least on the on our alpha laser returns. See, higher highs. All right, higher highs on the return candles. It's all looking good. But, that being said, we can still have pullbacks, right? You know how Bitcoin is. Bitcoin does what Bitcoin wants to do. So now I'm going to pull up our alpha volatility, our volatility range estimator. Okay. This is price action volatility ranges, and these are normal and Laplace distribution ranges. We have daily and 4-hour candle distribution ranges. All right. You can see we started out the day, right? We opened up the day right at about 63,375 area, took off from there. Within about an hour and 15 minutes, we had already hit the first standard deviation normal distribution. So that little blue dot I just showed you on the other chart, that's it right here, the thick blue cross line. That is the daily 1SD. Candle came back, closed. What is this red dotted line here? That is the first resistance level for the new weekly volatility range that I've outlined by this green arrow right here, okay? This is the new weekly volatility range. The top of the daily volatility range was right here at about 63.45 down to here, This is the daily volatility range. Notice price action opened up the day, ran away from it. This area is going to have to be tested. In my opinion, this is not close enough. You know, sometimes close is close enough, but we're talking about 500 bucks on the daily, a little over 500 for the weekly. Just not close enough. It really isn't, especially that daily. You want to see the daily either test down into that range or get within at least $50 or $100. Wasn't even close, right? We just had this momentum. The new weekly open, right? Everybody's excited. The algos are buying. Well, that's all good. You can see we ended up, let's see, we kind of got stifled by this R1 on the weekly. Got above it, got above the first standard deviation. Look at these wicks testing the top side of the 1SD. There's 3 of them right there. And is what it was really doing on this 4-hour candle right here. You can see these distribution levels. White is Laplace distribution, blue is normal distribution. We almost hit a 95.4 Laplace on the second 4-hour candle of the day. Pulled back from there, tested the top side of the 1SD. Then this 4-hour candle pretty much was staying right inside the 68.3 Laplace the whole time. We went back down and tested the first standard deviation again, then dropped back down, tested the top side. Because when you get a resistance level like this for volatility on price action, it's going to flip support. You can see it has been doing that. We ran up. This red line up here, this is a powerful daily move. This is the R4 of the daily volatility range, okay? That's the 4th resistance level. We blasted through 1st, 2nd, 3rd, almost hit the 4th. You get a move like that, the bulls really put forth a lot of energy to get this price up to here. So what's been going on, right? You're going to get an imbalance in the buy, in the sell pressure. Let's go back on that. I'm just looking at another chart real quick. Yeah, it's starting to build. There's a major imbalance. And I'll flip to this chart in a minute and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So right now, like I said, we did a few videos yesterday, and I was talking about the weekly outlook, the weekly analysis for Bitcoin. This area is going to have to be tested. Now we're talking about Bitcoin. Does it really have to be tested? In my opinion, yes, but Bitcoin has been known to just break the rules, right? The reason why I am saying that it needs to be tested is because it always does. Anybody that uses this indicator, go back in time and look at new weekly ranges, look at new monthly ranges, look at new daily ranges. They always get tested. There's no doubt about it. That's why I speak like this about this indicator. So that being said, do I have some sneaky orders down in there? Quite possibly do. Quite possibly do. Not financial advice, but anybody smart that knows how to use this indicator will probably have some nice little sneaky orders down there. Why is that? Because if this does get tested, trust me, Bitcoin's on a move. There's no doubt about it. This is the beginning of what I've been talking about for weeks. That Bitcoin is going to make a move towards the end of the year. We're talking about anywhere from about $125,000 to $250,000 Bitcoin probably, and that is literally the $125,000 range. That is, I believe, the 95.4 Laplace distribution on the projection to the end of the year. And the 250K, I think it's more like 240K. That is the second standard deviation. And we're talking about on a weekly projection. So you're going to find Bitcoin's data set somewhere in that area by the end of the year. That's my bias just by looking at a lot of other indicators. We'll see, right? We don't have too much time left, right? What, we got about 7 weeks to go or so. So good stuff. Wow, man, this freaking year went quick. Okay, let's see here. Is that all I need to talk about right there? Yeah, until tomorrow it'll be really interesting just to see how this all lines up. Let's flip over here. Let's go to a 4-hour chart right now. You can see right now in the 4-hour, I mean, it's all looking good. You can see these 4-hour candles right here are getting supported. The last 3 4-hour candles, they've been getting supported by this Gaussian mean of the deviation bands, right? And for anybody watching this indicator is not available yet. We're working on some upgrades. It will be shortly, though. Yeah, you can see we just tried to have that pullback on this 4-hour candle, got stifled. So did that one, right? This is where I was looking. I was like, hey, if this 4-hour candle closes below this Gaussian mean, you're going to see that move. Now look down here. Where's the first standard deviation to the downside on the 4-hour? $61,900. 61.9. It's right at the bottom. It's right at the bottom of the weekly range and the 1SD on the daily today. That blue cross line right there. I told somebody in a private chat, I was just like, I'm going to roll on the floor laughing if Bitcoin makes this move up to this daily R4 and then, which is right around the 1SD, the top side, and rips down to the 1SD to the downside. You know how many people are going to get wrecked? You know how many people that really don't understand how to trade, let alone they should not be using leverage. Leverage is poison unless you really know how to use it, right? You got to take your profit and don't use a lot, for God's sakes. Just trust me, don't use a lot of leverage. That's exactly what they want. They want to liquidate you. Don't let them. Don't let them liquidate you, guys and gals. Don't let it happen. That'd be a hell of a move. And this area right here is exactly where that's at. Exactly where this 1SD band is. So I could see a quick wick down to this 1SD to the downside. Test that weekly and that daily range. That's the thing, right? The daily's almost over. Doesn't matter. I've seen a daily range go untested for like 3 days. I think the new record's about 4 days. I believe that happened a few months ago. And I was almost giving up hope. And then whoop, what happened? A wick, man. Just it always happens quick. When it draws out, you will see a couple 15-minute candles. Zoom, zoom, test that area, suck right back up, continue on. That's how this will usually happen, especially Bitcoin is pretty damn bullish. Let's go back over here again. Right now, the variance is coming down. It was coming down, negatively correlated, right? First, we have this outlier, right? The variance turned pink, outside's blue, positively correlated, statistical outlier, variance expanding, correct? Rising variance, price action. And I'm going to say it. When I talk about volatility, I can say 100% of the time, because when you understand the correlation of volatility, expansion, and contraction, right? You're going to get it immediately, especially when you understand the breaks in the correlation that accompany it. It's a no-brainer. What happens if variance rises and it's positively correlated? You're going to get a price action to the top side, right? If it's negatively correlated, if the outside right here was pink, you would see a down move. There's plenty of examples. If you have the indicator, do some back testing with it. All right. Here's one thing. Don't do back testing on alpha trading indicators to see if they work. That's ridiculous. Right? We don't use things that don't work. Is how you want to back test these indicators is to understand how they work. Right? Not if they work, how they work. So do that. Even, use the replay function. It's powerful as hell. Put this thing on a 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute, use the replay function. It'll just shock you how powerful these indicators are. But like right now, because this 4-hour, you see, it changed positively correlating contraction. It just changed back to negative correlation. But when you have this variance coming back down, negatively correlated, price action is going to continue to walk up. And if anything, there's going to still be buy pressure to the top side. That's why we have not seen that pullback yet. Let's go over here on these AVRs and take a look. Plus, this Gaussian mean is strong. Gaussian mean is strong. Right now, the my low length AVR is contracting, negatively correlated. The 981's flat, positive correlation, contracting a little bit, right? So this is saying walk up, this is saying walk down. Then you've got contraction, negatively correlated on your on the high length AVR, which most of the time you're going to get a doji, but more than likely you're going to get a bigger bull wick than a bear wick. So we'll see how this 4-hour candle closes by the end of the day, or if this changes, right? It all has to do with volatility. It all has to do with volatility. Historical volatility Z-score is still rising, negatively correlated, right? If this really starts to rise, negatively correlated, come into this new day, it's going to really show how that pullback's really going to take place. Let's see. Divs. Look at the entropy indicator, right? Trending entropy to the top side. All right, we're getting some nice bright blue candle right now in this last 4-hour candle. So all this being said, you can see the Wolfsbane, right? It just changed again back to positively correlated. So we're going to have to see how this ends up working out. There does seem to be a little bit of weak bear div on the this area part of the Wolfsbane. That is the Z-score of log returns. Let's see. You have to drop to the 90. Was it the 90 minute? I was seeing that bear div. Yeah. Right when we got when we started getting these pullbacks right here, the returns oscillated. White line, it was rejecting right here off of the zero mean, right? Bear div, higher highs, lower high. Now the 90 minute, here it goes again, right? Turning down. It's positively correlated. You can see, look at the DLP. Look at all the lower highs. Look at all the higher highs. There's bear div building on the 90 minute. 90 minute entropy is going back into randomness. It is going back into randomness, but you can see right here, historical volatility Z-score is sloping down, negatively correlated. So, and when there's an imbalance like this in the buy and sell pressure, you're going to see a lot of stuff like this, where this is saying that price action is going to continue to walk up. The DLP's building bear div. The variance is saying walk down, right? So we're getting a lot of mixed signals right now. That's why you got to learn how to use a workflow to drop down through time frames. It's like just 12 hours. 12-hour is contracting, negatively correlated all around. But like right now, right, going into this new day, if we get an expansion in volatility and it stays negatively correlated, you're going to see the pullback. What's this Gaussian mean at? 63. What about the 1SD? 61.6, right? A little bit below that 61.9 area from the 4-hour. So that is interesting indeed. So the 12-hour, right, it'd have to break that Gaussian mean as well. There is bear div building on the DLP in these last two 12-hour candles. Looks like variance is pooping out. It is going sideways right now. It's still having a statistical outlier, but it is going sideways, positively correlated now. So that's putting a lot of pressure to the downside. Let's see. If this stays significantly positively correlated and you see the variance turn down, boy, it's really starting to slope over, you're going to see a down move as well. Right, and our alpha power percentile, which is, the percentile of the historical price on a lot of time frames, very high. Usually when you get all three of these lengths up really high, at some point, you're going to get a pullback, right? You're going to get pullbacks. That's just the way this indicator works. So I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to the charts at this close today in about, since we had daylight savings, hour and 40 minutes. Let's see here. Anything else sticking out on the 12-hour? Not really. I mean, if you look at our pop over here, our ultimate power mean, this is a beautiful trend indicator, very powerful. Very powerful. 60.4. So on the daily, these red dots right here, that is the central power mean. All the blue lines, those are all different lengths of power means. There's 15 of them, okay? And so the central power mean is at 60.4. Very interesting. If you want to flip over here onto the futures, on the CME futures. Let's see. Let me go to a 4-hour. There it is. There it is. What else is it? 60.4. It's a little bit below that. But, I'm not a gap boy at all. There's a healthy gap down here, guys. There's a healthy gap. And I'm telling you right now, where's the top side of that? About 61.7 of that wick where the gap is. Matching up, man. So I'm only using this as confluence, right? Well, why would Bitcoin, come down there? There's a lot of confluence down in that area. This gap, right, from the perps and the institutional futures is right in the same area as the weekly range, right? So right in the same area. Let me go to stream chat. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, high area of interest down here. High area interest. Don't think these areas can't get hit. Right when you don't think it'll happen, you're going to get like a couple 15-minute candles just going to wreck people. So be careful. Be careful. In my opinion, if you're in this move right now and you have not taken your profit, shame on you as a volatility trader. Shame, shame, shame. Just like the Game of Thrones, we're gonna walk you through the city butt naked, and everybody's gonna shame your ass. Take your profit. My God, because it's juicy if you got in on the continuation going into today. Please, for God's sakes, take your profit because you're gonna lose it all if we get this pullback. And if you're over leveraged, you might just get liquidated. And if that does happen, yeah, don't cry. Just learn your lesson. Learn your lesson. So that is the there. So what else? What's the bottom? Here's more confluence, right? So you look right here where a lot of these power means are coming together. Where's that price at? Top of it right there, about 61.6, a little bit below. So there is a lot of, let me see here. Let's go to a 3-day. 3 days looking healthy for sure, 100%. And yeah, this, is that a 3-day? No. So if this 3-day candle, what is the top right here? Let's see, 63. We get a new 3 days. So 8th. Today we get a new 3-day, correct? It is the 8th. This will be an all-time high candle close on a 3-day chart today. Price action stays up here in this area. Get a 2-day, same with 2-day. We get a new 2-day today and a new 3-day candle today. Pay attention. Where is this power mean at? 58. What about down here? That power mean. Ooh, right about the same area. 61.9. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're getting a new 2-day, new 3-day. This is typical Bitcoin right here. I mean, look, guys, it happens all the time, right? You open up, look at this. Boink. Wham. Wham. I mean, look, it happens all the time. Be prepared. Be prepared. Bitcoin's not going to make it easy on anybody. On anybody. That's why take your profit. Take your profit, please. I beg you. All right. So over here, we're about done with Bitcoin. I just want to look at, just looked at the 90. Let me check one more thing. Yeah, look at the 90-minute. You got the two lower length AVRs are contracting positively correlated. Look at the 90-minute candle right there. The 90-minute candle. There's a massive bear wick on that sucker. If this 90-minute candle closes below this Gaussian mean, what's that at right now? About 66.39. You close this and we got 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in this 90-minute candle. If this thing closes down below there, look out. Look out. It could, this last 90-minute candle of the day that we're getting ready to get could come into play big time. Especially the variance is positively correlated coming down. And like I said, all that bear did building on the 90-minute. And oops, I'll tell you what, I see the variance coming, or see the Z score of historical volatility coming down, right? When I just checked this chart a minute ago, this was negatively correlated heading down. Look at it. Look at the correlation shifting right before your eyes. It's starting to turn up. If this correlation goes positive and this continues to come down, the Z score of historical volatility, you're going to see this price coming. It's going to come down. Pay attention. Pay attention. See the 45-minute while we got it here. The regular crowd. Let's see here. I got an IH. Hold on. Yeah, look at the 45. 45 starting to break in the APP, starting to break right here. I mean, it started to break here, right? And then just pop right back up above that Gaussian mean. Now look at the 45. We got the band starting to squeeze, and this baby on the 45 is, I mean, that Gaussian means at 66,119. So pay attention to that. Those areas, if we close below there, we're getting a, I mean, look at the 45, right? Higher highs, a lot of higher highs, all lower highs. Now we're getting the first 45-minute candle since this pump, right? Random. Entropy's telling you this price action is random. And let's see what happens with the historical volatility Z-score. It's yet to be said. Is there anything down here? Well, right around a little over 62, little 62.2. Reverse Fisher. Purple dots down there on the 45. 62.2. Whoops. We're 62.2 right here, right in the weekly range. See how this plays out. It's going to be interesting. And now let's drop to 15. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, there's really no divs to be found. I mean, from back here, I mean, you're building a little hidden bowl. Let's see. As you can see, Z-score of historical volatility is heading up, negatively correlated. We're starting to break down on the APP too. Positively correlated, contracting on the high length, negatively correlated expansion on the mid length, negatively correlated contracting. So you got two saying up, one saying down. And that's why you have this little bit of a bull wick down here right now. But when's this candle close? 2 minutes. Well, we're going to stick through this to see this 90-minute and 45-minute candle close. In the meantime, let me flip on to check out a 5-day chart. Man, oh man. And we just got this 5-day on the 7th. Get a new 5-day on the 11th. 3 days, right? Variance is heading up, negatively correlated. Yes, it is. And if you get a rejection here on the 5-day, right? Get a rejection here on the 5-day. It's bear div. It's bear div. Got higher highs, lower highs. Let's see here. But I mean, the AVRs are looking good on the 5-day. We're actually 981 is starting to flash. But like most of these time frames, the APP is pegged, right? To percentile of the historical price. Pegged. What happened the last time it was pegged up there? Now, that doesn't mean it just has to come down. This is telling you, hey, this is like a warning. Every one of these lengths is pegged up here, 100%. They're all at 100%. Ding, 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 ding. So be careful. That's all I can say. What's down here? Oh, that's real low. Holy crap. What's this top power mean? 52? Yeah, it's like most high time frames. Let's go back to this 90-minute, back to perps, because these babies are getting ready to close. Let's see, 30 seconds. I just want to see how these indicators change up. It's on to tell me a lot. Ding, ding, ding. 2. Yep. What do you got for us, Bitcoin? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And variance just turned up, negatively correlated in with this. Yes, I think I've got to set on 525 right now. It is flashing. This is going to be interesting. I mean, it didn't. It's just still building. Spare divs building. We're just going to have to see how this plays out. As you can see, the returns oscillator is definitely trying to turn down here. You see this returns oscillator in a 90-minute turn down and get below the zero mean as the variance is rising, negatively correlated. I mean, we could see this last 90-minute candle really drop and maybe down to the central power mean before close, 63.8. And here's what I'm looking for to close inside this 1SD. I mean, that's at 65.7. That's not a huge move. That's 60. What's the 68.3 Laplace? 64.290. So that would actually, if it got down to that 90-minute central power mean, it would be down in this range right here, 63.9 area. Let's see how this happens. And that would look really good for coming into the new day. Test these areas. Get the hell out of here. Let's go to the moon, Bitcoin. Let's see here. Let's go over right to here. And yeah. Let's go to that doggy coin. Doge. Doge. What you doing, Doge? All right. You can see, I mean, I don't really have to change these projections. That's what's great. Everything's following Bitcoin, right? So when you start these projections in certain spots, it's probably going to be on an area where you can just leave it, right? Because you always, like for anybody new watching these videos that just got these indicators or whatever, you want to start these on a pivot in price. Doesn't matter if it's a pivot up or a pivot down. Don't just randomly start in the middle somewhere, all right? Are you going to start a projection from anywhere in here? Absolutely not. You want, this is where you would start the projection on this down move, right? Let's see. And you can see on this projection, right? Doge went up right here, tested at 95.4 immediately, broke up above it, didn't like it up here. Why? Well, 95.4% of the time, you're going to find the Dogecoin data set in this range, in that 95.4% range, whether it be above the mean or below the mean. You can see we got a couple tests up to it. Whoop. And that was literally was that a third standard? That day on October 17th, the day after Bilbo's birthday. That did a 3SD move. Dogecoin left me a present day after my birthday. Didn't even know it. Let's see. We almost got a test down here on this daily, and you can see. So what happened here? We opened up this new daily. Doge immediately ran up to the dollar to the 68.3 Laplace distribution range, and then dumped to the 99.7% Laplace distribution range. There's a lot of Doge holders out there. They literally got their asses wrecked. And look what happens the next day. You kidding me right now? Why did this pull back? That was a hell of a pump for Dogecoin, right? Yeah, massive pump. Guys, it was outside the 5th standard deviation normal distribution. Of course it pulled back. What did it pull back inside of? Let's see here. We open up 1, 2, 3. It pulled back inside the 4th standard deviation and the 95.4 on that Laplace distribution projection, right? Had this little slump, right? Along with Bitcoin, slumping down. Last 3 days, though, up. You can see when it opened, it tested the top side of the 68.3, went down to almost the 1st standard deviation. Now it's been up. Dogecoin today almost did a 1SD move, just like Bitcoin did. Didn't get as far as Bitcoin, but also on this 3-day projection, it was rejecting off of this 95.4. So we'll have to see how that ends up for Dogecoin. Let me go over here, flip this on Doge. Let's take a look on the daily. All you Dogecoin holders out there, bark. Bark for the wolf pack. Let's see here. I mean, it is closing above the Gaussian mean on the daily. Boy, I'll tell you what, though. These two low length ABRs, correlation's pretty high, positively correlating, and they are flashing. So if you see an expansion in volatility and these go negatively correlated, look out, right? And obviously, if Bitcoin does a $4,000 pullback at this point, something in that range, you're going to see everything else pull back for sure. For sure. Because everything right now, I know these TA guys like to say, hey, everything's overbought. That's all just BS. Nothing's ever overbought. Everything has to do with volatility. Volatility creates the imbalance in buy and sell pressure. And the imbalance in the buy and the sell pressure creates the divergence between price action and returns. I know I sound like a broken record, but you'll hear me 10 years from now still talking about it. There's a lot of people it needs to be hammered into their head. That's the only divergence you need to worry about between price action and returns. When you have divergence between price action and returns, it's telling you your investment, the returns on your investment are diminishing. Take your freaking profit. It's literally telling you to take your profit, and people just won't do it. Blows my mind. Please take your profit. And the more I talk about it, hopefully I'm in everybody's head. And when they're in a trade, they're just going to hear me screaming, take your profit. So that's all I want for everybody. I can't stand when people lose money. When you have these types of indicators and you have this type of education, why in God's name are you not profitable? That's my question. Follow the 3 simple rules. Don't be emotionally attached to your trade. Take your profits and limit your losses. Watch your P&L soar. That's our philosophy here. It's all you got to do. So daily, I mean, you can see the variance is heading up. Variance is heading up, positively correlated. There's really no div right now. There's no divergence building at all, at least not on the daily. What's a 4-hour on Dogecoin look like? Let's take a peek. Actually, the ABRs look good. Look at the APP though, and they're all starting to slope down on Doge. Sometimes it really helps to try to realize what is going to happen with Bitcoin. You can look at some of these altcoins for sure. It's not that Bitcoin always leads these moves. You can see some of these altcoins start to sell off first, right? It happened. I mean, I'm not seeing well, a little bit of divergence on Doge, a little bit on the last, or at least those 2 candles. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, the pullback doesn't look as bad on Doge. Well, and yeah, I mean, really doesn't. There's no div on Doge. Doge is beautiful right now, to be honest. We're going to have to see. This variance on the 90-minute is starting to turn up, and it's negatively correlated. Price action's random, right? The entropy is telling you that it's random right now, and the 90-minute APP is sloping down as well. Looks like we're getting maybe a little bit of expansion. No, flat volatility negatively correlated. Yeah, even a little contraction from a few candles back, but you can see right here on the lower lengths, they're both saying down, right? You're heading into positive correlation, contracting. You're positively correlated with flat volatility. You're below the Gaussian mean. Dogecoin is below the Gaussian mean. So Bitcoin has its pullback. Where could I see Doge go to? And this is on the 90-minute. Let me see something real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, where's my deviation? Yeah, 21 or 2. I would say probably about 1 maybe. Are pretty similar, maybe 2, because you're going to get a bigger pullback. Maybe 25-cent Doge if Bitcoin does that quick pullback. Could be lower. Could be lower. We'll have to see. We'll have to see as it progresses to see what really happens. Yeah, let's take a peek right now. I wonder if this will populate a 5-day on Doge. Ton. Let me get on the index on Doge real quick. Hold on. Doge USD calculated. Boom. Oh, you dirty dog. I want to have my 5-day. Boy, this 5-day chart's got, man, look, ultimate tower. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah, you can see all these higher highs on Doge. Look at the DLP. Oh, no. Not that bad at all. The entropy didn't have the bottom on it. So I was looking at the rug indicator. I was like, holy crap, look at the bear dip on Doge. There's the DLP. I mean, you are contracting, expanding on the low length on the 5-day. This will be check the 12-hour quick. Yeah, the high length is definitely saying down. You can see we're getting this 12-hour candle is down. There we go. What's the 1SD on the 12-hour to the downside? 26. What's the second? About 20. Yeah, 25.40. That's lining up with that 90-minute too. So yeah, that could be a good area. If Bitcoin does do this pullback, you probably see Doge back down at a quarter. All right. Is that good? Let's check real quick. Let's see where the weekly volatility. Okay, good. So here was Dogecoin's new weekly volatility range, right? Launched right off of it. Actually got up above the 68.3 Laplace distribution range on the daily, launched right off of it. And the monthly right here. That is probably the monthly. Let's see, where's Doge? Actually, is that crap way down there? Come on here. Is it all packed in here? Oh, yes. Hello. You're actually Doge. This was the center of the monthly range bottom. So Dogecoin launched off the bottom of its monthly range. Is what you don't like to see is the weekly range below that monthly. But a price action, we get that quick pullback. What's this weekly range? 26. What's the daily? Yeah, it got tested. I mean, that 68.3 was down there around 26.3. Okay, interesting. I mean, Dogecoin's free to roam, right? Everything's been tested on Doge. Immediately open the day, you're in the daily volatility range. Went blasting right through. One wick came down, tested the top of the weekly right there, and bounced. Got above the 63, came down, tested the top side of the monthly, rocket ship. Little Doge. I hope he had his little helmet on. Might have bumped it. He almost bumped his head on the 1SD up here. Poor little doggy. He's a cute fella, isn't he? Oh, Mimi Doge. It's all good. That's enough of Dogecoin. Let's check out Solana. Then I'm going to take a peek at Matic. Or Polygon. Artist formerly known as Matic. Let's make sure this is all tested here. Yeah, you can see Solana, right? Solana got a big weekly range. Here's the bottom. Here's the top. There's the center. I was eyeballing the center down here at 236. I was foaming at the mouth. I know somebody in the chat earlier, that would have probably been a night, right? You open up the day, you immediately go down and do a 1SD move immediately as soon as you open up the new day. Powerful. Look at the bounce, right? And then a rejection off of the top side of the 68.3. Laplace dish, or hold on. No, that's the bottom side of the 68.3. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, interesting. The daily is way up here. So you can see Solana opened up immediately, dumped down, tested the new weekly volatility range in the 1SD, bounced up to the bottom of the 68.3 on Laplace distribution range. Still, I mean, that's a test of the daily right there. That's plenty close, but then really got into the beef of the daily range and it rejected from there. Where did it bounce from right here? The weekly. And I saw Senex post a chart in there. That would have been a nice little scalp right there, right? There's going to be a lot of volatility. If you see Bitcoin do like a $4,000 quick little pullback, you could definitely you might see a $236 Solana. Hell, it might even rocket ship down and test the bottom of the weekly 230. Oof, praise the crypto gods. Let's see that happen. That'd be a beautiful little trade there. Let's go over here. Whoops. That's through Solana. Laser wolf chart. Let's check it out. What am I on? 12 hour. First, let's check the daily. Low length, yeah, positively correlated, contracting, positively correlated, contracting, flat volatility, positively correlated, APP starting to come down a little bit. Got any dip? We do. A little bit. Just had a little bit. There's a little. Is where it really is. Where's the bear div, right? Higher high, high, higher high, right? Those two little data sets, high, lower high, below. Look at you're starting to build a positive correlation histogram with the read you're getting here on this bear div between price action and returns. You know, like I said, it might not be Bitcoin. Maybe something else will lead to the downside first. Solana is definitely setting up for that. There's that number right there too. There's 135, $135 Solana on the daily is down, or no. Yeah. Not that, 136, $137 right at the reverse Fisher. That's a powerful little area right there. 36 plus right there. Is that at the middle? Yep. Yep, 236. Sorry. Oh, wait. Is that low? Hold on, guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that baby's not going that low. Oh, shit. Where's 236? Maybe the top up there, 214. Maybe it needs to stay up here. You don't want it getting down in this ultimate power mean area. That's for damn sure. Okay, so daily's looking good. Let's drop to the 4 hour. 4 hour actually doesn't look bad. It actually had a little bit of bull dip right here. Got this little pull up right to almost the top of the power mean bands there. This is where I want to look for that 233. That's a reverse wave trend right there. 215. Yeah. So since I'm looking at the 4 hour, what is that bad boy to be exact? 233.8. 233.8. It's probably damn near right at the bottom. And it's right here at the S1. No, it's about at the top of the monthly. Or bottom, or is that the top? Yeah, I think that's the top of the monthly, 235. That would be interesting right there. Pretty sure that is the top of the monthly. Check. No, it's the S1 or R1. Sorry, R1 of the monthly is right in that same area as the reverse wave trend. 4 hour. Just a little confluence there. Wow, look at the 4 hours flashing like crazy. Flashing like crazy. If we get expansion right here, I mean, especially the 981 is already negatively correlated. We got flat volatility right here, negatively correlated. If we get expansion, that's going to stay down as well. And we're flat, positively correlated here. And on the 4 hour, the APP is dropping. Historical volatility is positive, dropping down into the lower levels of the standard deviations. 2.8 standard deviations right now to the downside. If you're a skier, you're going down the left side of the mountain. Let's see. Now the 90-minute time is at 2:48. Plenty of time. Okay, so on the 90-minute, as the ultimate power means have been raising and raising and raising Solana from its high over here. You know, what up there about 261, right? All-time high. Things just been bleeding out, bleeding out, bleeding out. Had a move up here, but you can see rejected. Look at that wick right to the central power mean, right? So the candles are all closing below the central power mean. Now you're down here. This is like the last line of defense. You get below this reverse Fisher, you can expect a powerful move. Where would that be? Like I said before, that 234 area probably. what I was looking on those other time frames. Let's see here. Everything's negatively correlated. This right here is when you see the alpha volatility radar drop off a cliff, no matter what time frame you're on. Look at the low length. I mean, it literally dropped from about 92, almost 93% down to 4% right now. Something's getting ready to move. You're going to have a big move, and it is negatively correlated. So when I say a big move, that means there's another volatility expansion coming. And if it's negatively correlated, you're going to see that baby drop. Right here's what's a second 237. It's a second SD on the 90-minute deviation bands of price action. And you can see, what is this now? Did that one candle collapse? Oh, I don't want you. Get away. Oh boy. I mean, this candle barely closed above the Gaussian mean. I'm going to shoot down to the 1 SD. This will be the third 90-minute candle closing below the Gaussian mean. It is sloping down. That's Bitcoin at. Bitcoin ran right back up to what, 66,537. It's a powerful little beast right now. But at the same time, this is what Bitcoin does, right? People that aren't taking their profits, they're just like, oh, here we go. We're going to go again. Be careful. This is what Bitcoin does, man. It suckers you into staying in. I'm not saying it can't continue to go up. I'm saying it's a great place to take profit, not lose your profit. Right? Because in my opinion, Bitcoin is setting up a down move before it really ramps up. I mean, that area really needs to be tested down there. So we'll see. But all these altcoins, right? All their like weekly and daily ranges, they've been tested. I usually don't. Well, you know what? Let's hammer over to Matic real quick. Whoa, boy, this thing is just, look how this thing is just random. While Bitcoin had this massive move, Matic hasn't done a thing. Yeah, flat as a pancake. And just like Solana, right? Probably, I'm sure that was Matic's all-time high, 215. No, not quite. It was a little bit before, right? Up there at 222. Yeah, that's it for sure. So it's just been bleeding out, right? Well, of course, when Bitcoin pumps like that, people pull money out of the alts, they throw it in Bitcoin. That's why there's a lot of people just freaking out in the NFT market, bunch of just total raise. Yeah, I'll say it. It's like you buy into NFTs in an NFT bear market and you're whining because the floors are so low. When floors are low, it's called the bottom. You buy the bottom, you don't sell it. There's knuckleheads out there selling NFTs at the bottom. They're going to be very upset in about 3 months when these NFTs go to the freaking moon, man. They are going to be very upset. And are we noticing something on Matic? You want to see what? Look, this is all random. This entire bleed out and sideways action, all random. We are below this reverse fissure. Is what you don't want to see is these central power mean cross this reverse fissure. This is kind of ugly for Matic. Look what's going on. Look at the AVRs. This volatility is flat. Holy crap, low. And you're closing 3 candles now, 3 candles below the Gaussian mean, just like Solana. I mean, this is going to get into interesting. Very interesting. Now, obviously, that has a lot to do. These last 4-hour candles, right? Bitcoin been going crazy. Bitcoin's been going nuts. You can just tell. I mean, so there was a sell-off in some of this stuff. People were jumping in Bitcoin. Very interesting. Let's look at the 90-minute. And then I'm going to pop over here and show you this imbalance and buy and sell pressure. Same with the 90-minute. It's been having trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles closing below the Gaussian mean. And the wow, I mean, this is just all the volatility on Matic's flashing like crazy. There's definitely a big move coming. If BTC moves to the downside heavy like that, like down to test that weekly range, you're going to see Solana and Matic. You're going to be able to get some good entries down there for sure. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'll cheerlead you guys. Let's see. That's about gonna do. Let me anything else sticking around. You know what? I saw at one point Cardano was actually up. Cardano, yeah, it's still at about 211. It's starting to move. Watch Cardano. Pay attention to Cardano. I know a lot of people love to FUD Cardano. Silly. If you're not in it, I can't help you. It's a great project. It's going to be fantastic. I actually watched a podcast with Stephen Wolfram. I think that's how you pronounce it, and Lex Friedman. If you've ever watched his podcast, watch that one with him and tell me if you understand a damn word the whole freaking 2-hour podcast. Holy shit. But there was a lot of talk about Cardano. Cardano is using the Wolfram like mathematics or some equations and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a good little video. All right, let's go back to what time is it? Cardano's volatility was like flat as shit. All right, starting to finally get a little expansion down here on the low length. The APPs are starting to rise out of the dungeon down there, and historical volatility Z-scores heading up, positively correlated. We're actually, I mean, look at this random price action forever, right? Forever. And when Bitcoin made its run up to the first all-time high, whatever it was, 66, whatever it was, that was the last random price action of Cardano. It has been, I mean, we had this little tick right here, and we had that pullback. That was all trend. But most of this, all this bleed out right here, total randomness. Total randomness. Incredible. All right. In 20 minutes, one more peek. Yeah, I mean, just building this bear div. I mean, obviously it's not set in stone yet. You're gonna want to see that turn down. The returns oscillator. Yes, you are, and this is making sense. I mean, you got flat volatility, negative correlated contraction on the other two. So price action is going to walk up, variance setting up positively correlated. Let me change me screen real quickly. Boop. Yes, change windows. Hopefully that change. Yep, there she goes. All right. This is on a 4-hour. This is the buy pressure. Okay. Look at it. Look at the sell pressure. You think there's an imbalance there? It's a hell of an imbalance. When you get all this velocity and acceleration to the top side on that big 4-hour candle right there, it's all to the downside, right? On the sell pressure, this is a massive area of imbalance, right? And of course, when you get and that's what creates the divergence. That's what people need to realize. That's what creates a divergence. And you can see if you go up through these time frames, same thing, right? You get these two big 12-hour candles right here to the top side. I mean, you're all the velocity and acceleration is for the buy pressure. I mean, you had this sell pressure, but there's no velocity and acceleration behind it at all. So there's a major imbalance. And I looked on the daily a little bit ago. We got this big daily freaking candle, right? Lots of velocity and acceleration the last 2 days on the daily. Any velocity accelerations to the downside right here, and the sell pressure just been decreasing. So the bulls have just had their way. That's just so. What are the bears doing? You're storing up your juice. That's going to come back to get you at some point. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Boop. And boop. All right. That's going to wrap us up for the day. Let's see here. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, we are Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics, and we love to teach people to do the same. The link to our Discord's in the description of the videos. Come in, check us out. Follow the welcome message. We've got a lot of people joining lately. They just come in, just sit around, don't do anything. Send a message, talk, say something, but definitely read the welcome message. It'll tell you what to do. Let's see what else. I want to as usual, thank everybody watching live in the Discord. That is definitely a perk of being in our Discord. You can watch these live streams as they are happening. You don't have to wait till they come out on YouTube. Not that I'm giving signals or anything, I never do, but I've definitely usually given a good volatility analysis of what's going on in the markets. So yeah, you guys, I want everybody, all you alpha traders and everybody else out there, I want you to have a beautiful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you live at in this big, beautiful realm, right? And I will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody take care.